Right, me mates. Avengers 22 today. Avengers 22 day. This is a throwback from the 60s. Peace and love. Peace and love. He's not heavy, he's me brother. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall. This is continuing a story began in the previous issue. The first appearance of Atlas Man, a new villain for the superhero team. Amanda the Enchanter is on this cover, so it has won instant points with me. The road back. Where we're going, we don't need roads. This is written by Stanley Lee with artwork by the Ek Mafia Dawn and inks by Woody Wallpecker. The art is phenomenal, great stuff. And we have Captain America's Kooky Quartet once again bickering. This time, The Flash, one of my favourite Marvel characters, is doing most of the whinging. The Flash is angry with and is picking fights with Captain America because Captain America's leadership has brought them to their lowest point. The team have been forced to break up following a series of defeats and humiliations at the hands of Atlas Man. The City Council gave the Avengers orders to disband. This was the Silver Age. This was before the Avengers were a recognised organisation with government backing. They operated only as long as the locale tolerated them. The lack of administration or paperwork also explains how Hulk was a member initially. It was more of a social group. If they had to go through government red tape, I doubt the Kooky Quartet would ever get clearance to be deputised. All three of the newbies have criminal records. That is also partly how Wonder Man's membership counts. I never shut up about Wonder Man's membership because I am right about that and Marvel are wrong. Of course, Tom Beevor edited a retcon series that established the Avengers always had NSA clearance and a government liaison, which fucking flies in the face of a local council enforcing any decision on them. It was also that series that retconned that Hawkeye tying up Alfred was Alfred's idea and he was in on it. It was all a bit of theatrics. And that the Avengers enabled and fed Hank Gordon's mental breakdown because Tom Beevor thought that was better than them not knowing what was going on. As much as I have tried to justify the team being made to retire, this is a silly plot. The Flash, one of my favourite Marvel characters, goes looking for a job. Charlotte Witch, she tries to break into show business, but none of it works because they have been declared a public menace by the City Council. So they have to, you are all going to love this, they have to go and get jobs working with the circus of fucking crime. Right, here's an idea for you. Why don't they just move away from New York? Go to Vermont. There's employment opportunities for someone who is very fast in Vermont. But no, they have been brought so low and they cannot do anything else that they now have to go and work for the circus. And not even a legitimate one. This is a classic example of why I don't like the circus of crime. They have no reason to be in this story. They are stupid, and this plotline is stupid. And all that happens is they get into a fight with these Avengers. These Avengers, they fight the Circus of Crime, and they run away. The Avengers run away from the Circus of Crime. The Circus of Crime have no excuse for appearing in Avengers, and they appear multiple times. They are not powerful enough to reasonably be a challenge to a typical team of Avengers. Yeah, you can maybe do a Hawkeye solo story with them, but that still doesn't make the Circus of Crime choice Avengers enemies. They work as Hulk villains. They work really well as Hulk villains, which is weird because Hulk is so much stronger than all of them. But they work as Hulk villains. They can work as Ghost Driver villains due to that character's connection to the circus. Similar to how I just said so of Hawkeye. As Spider-Man enemies, as Daredevil enemies, absolutely needless. They are not doing anything special for either of those characters. As Thor enemies, do I need to even say anything? It's a fucking joke. Why are the Circus of Crime in this story? I understand that Stanley Lee was making it up as he went along, and all his work is filled with these weird plots where, for a few pages, like this, there is another plot line. But what did this scene really provide the story? We already had the Avengers at their low point. That is where we began the story. Now, we've just seen them at an even lower point. It's taken us this long to even see our central villains, Atlas Man and the ever-lovely Amanda the Enchanter. Atlas Man thinks that he has a chance with Amanda. And we have cameos from the Art Avengers here, where we find out why they are not showing up to call the new Avengers terrible. Iron Man is busy fighting Awesome Andrew in Tales to Suspend 72. Thor is in Journey into Mystery 122, which is footnoted as Thor 122. And then Ant Gordon and Wasps didn't have a title anymore, so they're just off doing anything else. If you like corny shit, get ready for a great one. A press agent comes to sign Atlas Man. I don't know what for. Maybe he writes really good poetry. And without much provocation, Atlas Man is happy to exclaim and boast about how he and Amanda the Enchanter framed those losers in the Avengers. But this press agent, well, it's only bloody Captain America in disguise with a recording device. So now the jig is up for everyone. The whole story, the jig of the whole story is up. Captain America versus Atlas Man. Great to see after he and the rest of the Avengers were trounced by Atlas Man. It's very satisfying to see Cap turn the tables on their foe. Maybe if the other Avengers weren't fucking around joining the circus, they could have helped expose the villain, or at least fight him at the end here. What would Captain America even do in this fight if, when he is fighting Atlas Man, Amanda the Enchanter decided to step in? Although my stance is that Captain America is, as depicted in Secret Wars, too strong-willed to fall for Amanda the Enchanter's tricks. he is a better man than me. But she could just fucking hurl a giant mystic blast at him and knock him out when he isn't looking. I do think Amanda the Enchantress' lack of participation here is quite good, actually. It makes the case for a deeper characterisation than the story does. And it goes well with the one panel we see of her in the rest of the issue. Captain America, now joined by the rest of the Avengers, who were very unhelpful otherwise. They managed to overpower Atlas Man, and they have exposed the smear job on their reputation. At which point Amanda the Enchanter decides to just fuck off. Excellent writing right there. I'm not being sarcastic. I think that is the perfect way to resolve her involvement here. Have her just say she tires of this and leave. That way, I never have to see her suffer or face any consequence. And the city council doesn't have to say anything nasty about Amanda the Enchanter. I can't help but love most of this. I think part 1 is far better, but with the Silver Age, if there's stuff you don't like, Stanley Lee will probably be bored of that in 4 pages' time, so just moves on to something else. A solid 2-parter introducing a villain that, while initially barely exciting, does have real longevity and significance. And then there is the art, which is beautiful. I'll rank this 7 upped thumbs.